And thank you, Corey. And I probably wanted to piggyback off of what you're just saying here. You want to make sure that when you are speaking with the servicer that you can escalate to a manager or a decision maker, and also be sure that they are asking specifically for the MHA program rather than traditional modification or in-house modification program. So you want to be clear in what you're asking for as well. But those are very good points, Corey. Now, let's go back to the home affordable foreclosure alternatives, or HAFA, and answer a couple of questions. Why was this established, and what is its purpose? And in short, it was established to address the transition. In some cases, the borrower is not going to qualify for a Making Home Affordable program, period, whether that's a refinance or a modification, and they have to wrap their arms around the idea that they may need to look at other possibilities or other alternatives, and thus HAFA was brought to the table. In terms of its purpose, it was brought to actually help avoid foreclosure, the actual impact of foreclosure in terms on the credit and the actual process of going through the foreclosure, and the monetary impact that goes along with that. In terms of the announcement, it was announced from Supplemental Directive 9-01 from the Treasury Department, and it was introduced late last year, and we're going to touch on the actual date that it's effective. I believe it's April 5th, but servicers have the option to utilize this program now. They do not have to wait till April 5th. In terms of who it benefits and why, it benefits the borrower, the servicers, and investors. And as we go through the presentation, we're going to touch on that briefly. And I'm getting the sense here that I need to speed up as we go through this. But this is the actual directive here, and it gives guidance for servicers, as I talked about, and provides incentives to servicers and borrowers who utilize a short sale or a deed in lieu in order to avoid foreclosure, and all of the negative impacts that may go along with a foreclosure. So this was actually brought about to help borrowers make it through the transition. In terms of the guidance that it gives for everyone involved, it provides guidance for servicers who will now all have the same standard to follow in order to help borrowers avoid foreclosure. I mentioned that earlier. Question here is, can services that facilitate non-GSE mortgages participate in this program? Answer is yes, but they must execute a servicer participation agreement. So they'll be held to the same standard that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac lenders are held to. Do services already participating in the HAMP have to participate in this program? The answer is the directive specifically states that services already participating in the HAMP must follow this program. So they should be crystal clear that who has to participate and why they have to participate in this program. The last question here is, are there any other requirements? And the only other requirements in terms of this program is if a loan must be that a loan must be HAMP eligible to initially qualify for this program. Does not necessarily mean that if this is going to be one of the outcomes for you, but in terms of the requirements, you have to be HAMP eligible in order to participate in the HAFA program.